I think we're live. I think we're live already.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, is right. All right. I think it's live. Get that. Hey, folks.
Hold on. Hold on. Our
Oh.
lip is okay.
Okay. Lester and Jamie here, and we're not alone. We got some babies with us. We got some bottle fed babies who are getting kind of hungry. Starla sitting there with Jamie. You need to fix your blouse, young
What's
lady.
wrong with my blouse?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I
What's
would
wrong?
say probably nothing in the eyes of most people, except anyway, it's cute. You got a great blouse there.
I'm like,
Someone says, "Holy moly, Jamie," and I get that. Yes, holy moly is right. Holy moly. We are
you want me
here
to
with
wear a turtleneck? It's hot, okay?
We're here with Starla. We got Danny. Oh my God, we got Fiona. We got
Stella.
under here. We got Stella. Guys, we have an entire crew who's joined us. Ruby is very jealous. She's right here staring at me, and she is very, very jealous. Now we have Christmas over here. We have the entire crew
Gang's all here.
The gang is all here, and we're so blessed to have you guys. Jamie, why don't you go ahead and feed her, and then I'll hold this one here off for a minute or so. Jamie's going to bottle feed Starla. If you've never bottle fed a goat, feel free to come volunteer. First feeding is at 6 a.m. And if you're not there at 6 a.m., she was going to scream and let you know.
She tells you.
And then the entire house gets woken up.
And the last feeding is at 11 p.m.
Yeah, there's no way.
If you're lucky. And the last cow feeding is currently at 1 a.m., which is super, super great.
So this one over here can smell the milk, even though it's a different kind of milk. She's like, hey, you know what? I'm really hungry. And Danny, you're going to be next, sweetie. Look at Ruby eyeballing us. Ruby is so mad.
Ruby's like, they used to be my lap.
Ruby is so darn jealous over there.
Look at Fiona trying to shove her head up underneath here.
I love you too, sweetie. Yes, I do. You're my sweet, special girl. There's a lot of love in this family here, y'all. There's a lot of love to go around. And we're so darn blessed to have you guys joining us.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
What happened?
She's licking my armpit right now.
Baby.
Look.
Fiona or who?
Fiona is. Look.
Thank y'all for spending a little bit of time with us. We are coming to you 8 o'clock our time, which means it'll actually get dark before our live is over. You can already hear the crickets.
And the cicadas.
Doing all their things. And so it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Oh my God, that's so sensitive right there.
We did turn off all of the fans and the air conditioner on the RV. Poor Lex went back to his mom today. It's been a long 45 days. He's had a lot of fun with Dad and with his Gigi and Pawpaw, Connor over the summer. But
no, you're not. Look at this. I'm grabbing this bottle, and she's like sticking her little lips out. Like
today was his day to go back to his mama, and so he's back with mama. School will start for him in about a week or so. And that's kind of good because his mom is a whole lot better about getting him back on school schedule. Over here, he was, I tell you what, that kid would sleep all day and party all night.
Oh, there's a method here.
Guys, it's a little bit hard to get her started. It really is a two-man job. I have to rub her the way her mom would lick on her. And that's just kind of what my job is. Jamie gets the fun job here, because my job is a whole lot harder as far as having to lean over and scratch in all the right spots. But she wants to be loved on and scratched on and petted on.
This is a weird thing that she does. So when she lets the air go back in, she can't connect anymore. It's like a whole fresh start every single time. And then we got to go through the same path and let her do it. Oh, she's tired now.
Ruby is right here. For everyone who's saying, where's Ruby? Guys, if you ever start a live late, you have to always remember that you're starting the live late, and things that you may be bombarding the chat with might have already been answered 100 times. So yes, Ruby is right here. I cannot hold them both at the same time. So what we're going to do is, what's wrong? Oh, you're loving her?
Yeah.
All right, you love her. Why don't you get me a drink?
Yeah, it's a 3-ring circus here every day, all day right now. And we're really blessed. Ruby will come over here in a second. I promise you. She gets a little bit jealous. She ate earlier.
Yeah, I
So-
don't mind putting Danny down and grabbing Ruby if you want me to before it gets dark.
Okay.
We like to give the calves time to walk around in the grass and experiment and bite on. Well, there's not much grass to bite on, Fiona. Okay, but we want them to experience the life of a calf.
Let me see if I can get her to finish eating. And then
Okay, go ahead. And the life of a goat. And so we try to give them and provide them all of
So you're
those
gonna think it's funny.
enrichment activities.
But this whole sucking thing on my arm is part of what they actually they naturally need to do. You can't just shove a bottle in their mouth and expect them to figure out how to take it. They got to kind of be in the groove.
In the zone.
Yeah. So I have to catch her when she's sucking on something, like my thumb and my arm, and even then, she's a tough one to feed. I'd rather not look at my belly button anymore. That's okay.
Well,
Why don't you put her down and I'll try to feed her standing up.
All right, just so you all know, Dr. Cochran and Tammy, that's one of the vet techs, came out. Were they here Thursday or Friday?
Thursday.
They were here Thursday.
And my video about it comes out tomorrow.
And Jamie's video about that visit comes out tomorrow on
Hi,
Facebook or YouTube.
YouTube.
It'll be out on YouTube, and then I will have snippets. That was Jamie's video, so I left her the bulk of the content, but I have a few snippets on my video tomorrow as well. So if you're interested to find out exactly what's going on with all of these three babies, that would be Ruby, Danny, and Starla, along with Sadie, or Big Bertha, as I call her, along with horses and donkeys. And who else did she look at? Is that all? Millie, Fiona, guys, she come out and listen to me. When you're blessed enough to have the vet come to you with all of these flea bags, it saves you a lot of time and a lot of cost, because it's cheaper to pay for the vet visit here than to pay for the multiple. It would take multiple vet visits, office visits.
Yes, it takes like at least half a day to drive in.
And it's a half a day to, sometimes you're leaving, sometimes you're waiting. And so we've learned, and we're very blessed to have a vet that doesn't mind coming to us.
Yeah.
And so they come and do it all right here. If there's any kind of lab work or anything of that nature, they can't always do that here. Obviously, they have to sometimes get back to us, or we have to go in and pick stuff up, but that's easy. But taking animals in, especially all of the different dogs and cows and goats and everything else, it's a lot easier to have them come to us. And so we're darn blessed to have Dr. Cochran, Dr. Priestley, and just Big Thicket, New Caney in general. So that you'll learn more about that coming up this week.
I didn't mean to feed her off camera.
Jamie's she wants her to eat. They like to eat standing up, and it's also better for them. Why do I got to put my face in here? I just feel like I have to put my face here. They like to eat standing up. You can talk while you're feeding if you want to.
I was focusing, sorry. No, so eating standing up is important for their circulation and digestion, and it helps them if they get a little down the wrong pipe to cough it up the right way. And I know that looks violent in the way, but it's how we have to get her set up, because if you don't, this is what happens. She spits it back out and she can't get quite settled. And then I have to stand here for a little bit and let her push up against my leg and do the thing. This is the thing. I pretty much have stickiness all over me nonstop, and she is a feisty little longhorn, like extremely feisty. But I have to ninja it in there real quick like that when she's in the nuzzling, sucking mode, like it's mom, basically. And believe it or not, as weird as it sounds, doing it with the dress on and bending over her like this feels a little bit more like mom. So it goes much smoother.
There's Sadie. Ruby. Come on,
She's making her way over. Ow, baby. Ow, 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 ow. That's mama's toe.
Come on, my sweet girl.
So here's something else. It's almost gone. Danny believes that Sadie is her cow mom. Come here, Rubes. Looky here. There's Ruby Doo.
Oh my gosh.
Hi, baby. How
There's
are
Ruby.
you?
Everyone's loving on Ruby.
Oh,
Ruby's finally getting her
man.
turn. Trixie, you're not Ruby. You need to just get on out of here, Trixie.
Oh, we need a bigger camera. That's just all there is to it. Look at this craziness.
We do need a bigger camera. You know, we could probably get one of those that would mount like up on the ceiling and kind of face down.
Yeah.
So,
We can see everything. Then.
widescreen.
Yeah.
Now, everyone's doing great up here. I don't want to talk about all of the specifics from your video because that would ruin the video. People sometimes will cheat and get the cliff notes and then they'll go watch someone else's video. And how's a guy supposed to make a living when people do that to him, huh? It ain't going to happen. Anyway,
I have to. Do you care to talk while I go rinse off my hands?
do I have? Ooh,
Let's
I
talk.
gotta
Let's talk about your
entertain
shirts
everybody while you
and
go
all
wash
of your
hands.
display of things in a video.
So we're going to probably start having people start screaming about the lighting. But guys, you remember that it is outdoors. We're not sitting in a studio. And I think the worst thing you could do in the comments is start demanding that we fix the audio, or demand that we fix the lighting, or demand that we anything else. Why? This is the live. This is what you get. What you see is what you get.
Speaking of what you see is what you get. Look.
What you see
Move
is what
your
you
arm.
get.
Move your arm, that arm out of the way so you can see Danny behind you. Move your left arm. There we go. Who believes Sadie is her mom?
Yeah. It's cute because Sadie, can't we call her Bertha again?
Okay.
Sadie will pretty much sit there and allow Danny to fake nurse. She's
But
not
the thing
really
is
nursing, but
she's
she's
never been a mom that we know of. Like the vet was like, no, she's too young. She's never been a mom. But she has all these like mom tendencies. Like she'll stand over her, she'll steer her. They all think that they're part of the mom group here, the mom club. Stella is, of course, like real mom. Then you have Christmas, who's like the mothering type. Like, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. Sadie just wants to stand there and let
Bertha.
Bertha.
I'm claiming it. It's Bertha. It's Bertha. Her first name was Bertha.
I call
Bertha.
her baby girl. So I just call her baby girl and she comes running. But she stands there like this continually.
Someone says Bertha's fine, but not Big Bertha. She's a big dog. She's the biggest dog that we got. She's Big Bertha.
But she's doing really great here, though. You have to admit that. She's doing really great.
She's doing amazing. She's wonderful. We knew she was going to be a special dog, even when she was at the sanctuary. So Cindy says, please, no. Cindy, you need to hush it up. That's my Bertha, okay? I love her. But as you can see, what Jamie was saying is true. We have Danny who just going to town there on Bertha, and Bertha's allowing her.
Bertha has no parts to offer her, though.
No, none at all. But it is cute.
They just let her,
Everyone.
and if that's the mothering thing that she needs, then that's what she's getting.
Yeah. And I know that you can't see all the way around here, but believe it or not, we got dogs helping us out left and right.
With goats
We
and
got-
cows.
Yeah, we are so darn blessed to have all this. We have such protective dogs. They really are. They're such protective dogs, and they take care of our goats and our calves. And everything. This is the typical scene around here, Jamie. I'm watching a goat nibble on a Great Pyrenees' nipples.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a little goat hopping around, about to lay down there beside Stella. Stella is laying there like the mob boss that she is, and kind of keeping an eye over the godfathering everybody. And this is about, this is what you get.
That's normal.
This is very normal.
Danny, there's nothing that's going to come out of there.
Merry Christmas. So I'm just giving y'all an around the world tour. Around the world, huh? I don't know why y'all even put up with this. I don't. I sometimes wonder why you even put up with this. Right. Where are we at on everything else?
I don't know. This is all I've been living, breathing, sleeping, and doing for a couple of days now.
So everyone knows that Buddy and Brutus are together in North Carolina at a wonderful home where they are inside dogs.
Oh, I posted a video today on YouTube, an old video that hadn't played yet, and it was of all the dogs, and it was really right after Brutus came here,
Yeah.
and people were so confused and
Oh.
thought they were back. And
That's on you then. That's on
I know.
you.
I'm just telling you. I'm calling it out, saying like my mistakes. I'm not calling out that it was older, but holy.
Yeah, I've learned that you have to put disclaimers out if you're going to ever post anything that's going to confuse people. Even though it may be a video you've never played or it was one that was in your archives,
Yeah.
that was a really, you still got to come on there just for 15 seconds and say, this is an oldie but goodie. This is a replay, but one that I thought was a lot of fun, or let everyone know, because otherwise they will be confused. So what I'm guessing is there's people who think that Buddy and Brutus are back.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
They're not back.
No, Buddy and Brutus are not back.
We got ourselves a girl club going on, is what we have.
We have all female dogs here.
And 2 female calves and a female goat.
Oh, my gosh. Yes.
Yeah, the estrogen is high.
Yes.
Lester's outnumbered like a lot.
Yeah, everyone, I know people can't take their eyes off what's going on behind us over there. It really is the cutest thing. But listen, we can let them. All right, so we have a really neat routine that we're trying to stick to. And in the afternoons, the evenings, and overnight, we put the guardian dogs kind of have free run, but we put our other dogs along with the calves and our little goat into the shop. We close the doors, fans are on, it's nice and cool, doors are cracked open so a breeze can come through, plenty of ventilation. But like I say, the shop is right. Well, the apartment and the shop are side by side. So bless you. Around 6 a.m, if Jamie does not get up on her own, then the little goat starts screaming, and she knows about where to scream, and we'll come out to her.
It's about 5:58 to be exact.
It is
I
right
wonder
before.
Sometimes if she knows, like if there's something electronic that happens to my phone that she can feel or know.
Ah, that's neat. That's interesting. Yeah, you never know. But so Jamie wakes up and starts the bottles. But Jamie will never let me sleep in. There was a time when I could sleep in, but now she makes
such a
you
lie.
make me get up to help you.
I did today.
Jamie.
I have done
okay, listen. So if I don't get up, you purposely stomp, you flip lights, you slam doors. She may not actually say, Lester, can you get up and help me? But instead, she'll make it to where I know that she's needing help. That is true. And you're right. She may not actually come in here and say, hey, sweetie, can you help me with the feed up this morning? Can you go ahead and get up and help me out a little bit? But you find ways to get me up, and you know that's true. And your face says it all. I never blinked an eye. I can say that looking dead. I could look you in the eye. And what I'm saying is true.
He never blinked an eye because he's asleep.
No, I'm saying right now, as I'm telling y'all what's going on. If there was some kind of a professional watching my facial expressions, they would know that what I'm saying is true. You may not actually wake me up, but you purposely do things so loud that there's no way I could sleep through it. And that's fine. I don't mind doing my part to help out. But once I'm awake, then I'm awake. And why kitchen flies?
Because I wish that the security cameras, I could pull up the times that noise started happening instead of.
I've never heard that noise in my life.
What is that?
I don't know, but it's spooky. And all the animals are over there.
Oh my God, I know what it is.
What?
It's that ostrich.
That we got in the gift and goodies? And the dogs got it, and it makes a noise.
Go get it.
Guys, I just heard like a carnival noise. I'm like, I thought Jamie's phone was somewhere, but I don't see her phone.
I did too. I was like, I don't even know that sound.
My phone's in the house, and I turned it off so it wouldn't interfere with our Wi-Fi
My
stuff.
phone is also in the house, which is why I was like,
what in the world was that? I'll go get it.
Oh my gosh. So anyway, Lester may think that I'm in there slamming things around, but you know, when it's been a few hours and you did all the stuff ready, you just have ways of like saying, I'm up. There is no at 6 o'clock. Now, sometimes I'll roll over and I'll scratch his back because, yeah, I do want help, especially in the beginning when we had to carry Danny in and out.
I guess the dogs found the try me button.
It scared me. It sounded like the creepiest thing ever.
Yeah, I was scared too.
She's like, I don't want any of that.
That was really scary.
That was scary.
You know, I should be used to your tactics because when I was growing up, my mom, Gigi, was always an early bird. And there was no way she would ever let us sleep in. She would want to wake up and start cleaning. She was always kind of the clean freak. And so she could come into our bedrooms cleaning at whatever time of day it was, always seemed like at the crack of dawn. And so
crack of dawn was probably 10 a.m. on a Saturday.
No, not my mom. And so what my mom would do is purposely take the vacuum and she'd run the vacuum into the bed. Boom, 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 boom. And so at some point, you might as well go and just get on up because she's not going to stop until you're awake. And that was her little way of just saying, get up or suffer or something. And so Jamie does the exact same thing. So there's no such thing as sleeping in when you have these 3 babies around here. No way at all. Hey, since it really is getting darker earlier, let's just walk inside the house. Okay. The babies are fine. Listen, we're going to go ahead and take you guys inside with us. Just bear with us as we walk in. Can you bring that mail I put right there? Yeah. So I'm not concerned with the bringing the babies up. All the dogs are fine, and no one's going to come into our yard and try to snatch a goat or one of these calves with all of these guardian dogs standing around. But we are going to take you inside so that we can get a little bit better lighting. So if you'll just bear with me just for a second or so, I'll get turned around and we'll get positioned and everything. Plug my computer in. Okay, that's a whole lot better, Jamie. I just feel bad that we can't sit outside. But hey, we were able to show off the babies a little bit. And if you'll unplug the ice maker. You shouldn't let the dogs play with that. It was a gift, not a toy. Too late. And I don't think that anybody who sent that is going to. I can guarantee you that whoever gifted that, I forgot the name, is probably very excited to see it being used. I think that, yeah. What I think is that a lot of times in this world that we live in, it's ridiculous how everyone is looking for something that can be mad or upset about. And have y'all not learned that the world is changing? Have you not learned that slowly the world's getting tired of that? The world, not just the United States, but the world is getting sick of the movement where everyone is a victim and everyone is looking for someone to be upset about and to start drama where there shouldn't be. I can promise you, if the sweet lady's on here who sent that gift, I can guarantee you she's just tickled pink. You ever heard that expression? Mm-hmm. She is tickled pink that these dogs have grabbed that toy and are playing with it.
I think it's funny that they did. So.
I do too.
It's okay. They're not destroying it. Nobody's chewing it up or anything. They just wanted to make the noise. So.
No, what I'm glad to see so many people are agreeing with me. Boy, if I'm not careful, I can get myself into some trouble with this one. I can. Jamie is all about conspiracy theories, and she's really big on anything that has to do with conspiracy theories. And to me, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Aliens exist, the moon landing. I don't know. If you can't prove it, you can't disprove it. You just don't know. So why rack your brain in trying? But I'll tell you what. One thing that I'm adamant about are things that I do believe in and that I can downright see just the ridiculousness. I'm just going to use that word, just the ridiculousness of the world. And maybe I don't think it's just our country. I don't know the world. I'm not a world traveler, but I can't imagine that the movement that was going around and the things that people are trying to get everyone to conform to because it triggers something inside of them or the fact that they're constantly looking, let me find anything to be mean and complain about just to get a rise out of somebody. Listen, you're dying. I don't know how you say it the right way. Not you're dying, but that movement is dying, and it's about time. It is about time. You want to say something about this? You can. You're scared too?
I am just reading so many people calling out your beard. That's all. They noticed your.
No one wants to talk about the movement is dying. That ridiculous movement of the political correctness and oh my God, that is just the. Anyway, it's over and it's dying fast. And if you were a part of all of that, what's wrong? Anyway, that's not where the live was going. We're talking about animals. Well, it came from that lady's demanding that I remove that toy from that animal's mouth. I'm not having all the demands right now, guys. I'm not having the demands right now. Lester's not in that kind of a mood. Stop. You really are squeezing pretty hard. Like that was like bone crushing.
It was not, but first of all, it's my left hand. It's my weak hand. I can't crush your bones with my weak hand.
I hate to see your right hand gripped on me like that.
Calling me out for waking you up, calling me out for being a conspiracy theorist, calling me out for squeezing your hand. Anything else?
I called you out for your boob hanging out when the live started. I did call that out real fast. We ain't doing no live. If I can't have any attention, they're going to be staring at your boob the whole time. We ain't doing that. Oh my God. Well, how many people right now are saying, oh, and now they come in late and they're going to go right back to the beginning. See, I guess that's one thing we could have done. What do they call that? Easter egg? We could have Easter egged that in there somewhere and found a way to make people watch it. I actually did that this past week. I planted an Easter egg in a video where I named and called the name of that calf, Danny. Now you all know Danielle, named after my niece, Brienne, who was just played a huge role in protecting and saving not only mama, but baby. But in that video, I Easter egged the name of that calf. And it was funny because, okay, I don't mean this in a mean way, but okay, you know what, you're human. You got a life. You got things to do, places to go, people to meet, and whatever chores to do, whatever you do, and you're busy. But you also try to squeeze in a little bit of time for a video here and there. And so sometimes you watch just enough to get the gist of the video, and then you're out off to the next channel, which is fine. Hey, what can we do about it? But when you begin to read comments and you were seeing all of the people who had watched that far, then you begin to feel like, oh no, I something was left out. So it was neat the way that video had more views the second day than it did the first day. And what does that tell you? When a video gets more views the second day, it's because people had to go back and watch it because they saw from the comments they had missed something. I love that. That was not mean. That was not mean. It was actually kind of comical. But hey, you do what you have to do. You know about the movie 3 Men and a Baby. I've talked about this before, how they did that.
But I didn't know it until you told me about it. Like, I've watched 3 Men and a Baby like probably 25 times as a kid. I love that movie. But I didn't know the part about what you told me is like that did they take out a part in the remake?
No.
They added in?
No.
Okay, then I don't know.
Okay, so listen. Easter egging is a video creator's tool to get you to watch, pay attention, view longer, view again, or whatever. And so we're not making any jokes. I mean, everyone knows that we get paid not by the number of views, but by the amount of ads that play during a video. So one way you can increase that is to have entertaining videos where people want to watch. You can't hardly stand not to watch. One thing that a lot of creators do is put the most important thing at the very end. A lot of creators do that. They will wait till the very end. They'll give you a title. They'll give you the thumbnail to kind of get you intrigued, but you don't get the real gist of the video until the very, very end. They want you to watch all the way through so that they can get all of them ads, which makes them more money. But another thing you can do is the Easter egging, where you hide things in your videos so that people will go back and watch them a second time, but this time paying closer attention. And so the video that we made with Brienne, or with the calf, had the name at the very end. A lot of folks didn't realize. And the reason it made me think of Three Men and a Baby is because this has been years ago. Anyone that is my age will know about Three Men and a Baby. Everyone stopped saying, let Jamie talk. I can promise you, the same way she reached over and grabbed my hand, if there's anything Jamie wants to say, she will just start talking. And the way that we banter is that I normally ramble, and she's very well thought, very well spoken. She thinks about what she's going to say before she says it.
I'm waiting for my moment. So tell your story about Three Men and a Baby, because I'm going to talk about an Easter egg that some people missed.
Oh, you have an Easter egg too?
Go ahead and finish your Three Men and a Baby story.
Well, anyway, in the movie Three Men and a Baby, it was with three very popular actors at the time. They had a particular scene where the three men were with grandma and they were with the baby. And as they're walking across the apartment, I believe it was somewhere in New York, there was a boy. There was like a 8 or 9-year-old boy. You didn't see him because it never focused on him. But as they moved across the scene, grandma carrying the baby, one of the men, Tom Selleck or someone right behind her, there's a boy standing right in the curtain, not behind the curtain, standing right in front of a curtain of a very large window. And not many people seemed to notice it at first. Now, it was in the original, but not many people noticed it. But it wasn't until, I guess, different TV talk shows or whatever begin to call it out and begin to show different scenes of it, that in this day, you couldn't go YouTube it. You had to actually go rent the movie. So all of a sudden, there was this huge demand for Three Men and a Baby a couple of years after it was released. And so what they had was a larger audience watching it the second time around because people wanted to see the ghost boy. They even created a legend that that little boy, who was nowhere in the set, he somehow was recorded, he had died from falling out of that same window. So everyone wanted to see the ghost boy. And so I will admit, I was one that wanted to watch it again. We made mom go to the the DVD or VHS store, whatever it was, and we rented 3 Men and a Baby so we could all watch the ghost boy. And all of us kids sat around, we were all just so scared of this ghost boy. And all he did was a little boy just standing there.
That's crazy.
Now, we know the truth, y'all. You know the truth. It was no ghost boy. The creators of that, the producers or director, whoever, they knew just what they were doing. They planted an Easter egg in the movie. And whatever money they made the first round was probably pretty good. But on round 2, they even doubled their profits. So how clever were they? Now, you say that you also planted an Easter egg at some point?
Well, it was an accident Easter egg in mine.
Whatever.
I made a video out here on the patio before we had announced that Sadie was here, and she strolls by in the background of my video. Did you know it? No. And you had one as well in the video with you and Dutch. She's on the floor before we ever talked about Sadie being here. So I don't know if that's necessarily an Easter egg because you didn't tell anybody to hunt for it, but there were 2 things in there that were like revealing that weren't really there. And then the other one Lester just did in his little shirt takeoff video, it's what's on the nightstand.
Only one person, Vanessa, and a second person in my messenger told me and called that out. No one noticed what was on. Are you going to go get it? Yeah. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. If you noticed, say it right now. Don't lie. If you noticed what was on Jamie's nightstand, put it in the comments right this minute. So there's actually a lot of people saw it and they were embarrassed for you, Jamie. They were embarrassed for you. No, it was nothing perverse, y'all. Now, it's true. No, the drone was on my side of the bed. The drone was on my side. But go ahead, just put it to work. Show them what we do with the rolling pin almost every night. Oh, thank you, God. Oh, my Lord. Let me turn around the other way so I can see what you're doing.
Sure.
Okay. So
this weirdo feels like this is the best thing for his back.
It's very therapeutic.
And went ahead and cleaned off anything on his side of the bed and made everything look amazing. And went ahead and left the rolling pin on my side. So that way everybody would think the worst things about me in this video. No, just stay that way right now. And then he went ahead and went into the closet and was like, I'm not going to embarrass Jamie at all. And then went ahead and showed all of the boxes of shoes, which I will share with you.
I didn't show all of them. I didn't show them on the floor.
In real life,
there were shoes on the floor.
In real life, what really is happening is that Lester's shoes are up there as well. He might like to say,
not even true. That is not even
so true. So true. And for the record, he got rid of 2 shirts. Two shirts.
So supposedly the shirt that I thought was another man's was actually mine. I just never worn it.
Yes. I was like, I'm watching the video and I'm like, I bought that for you to go with the Longhorn shirt that you wore to Xander's graduation. It's the undershirt.
That's right. I went back and saw the pictures, and I actually did wear it once. I just completely didn't. I had no idea.
It's a hang-up shirt. It's not a farm T-shirt, and it got put into the laundry. And then a lot of people are like, Lester, why are all of your shirts inside out when you're pulling them out of the drawers?
That's my fault.
Listen, however, that they come into the laundry and dry. So if they're taking off his body inside out and they're washed inside out and dried inside out, they're coming back to your drawers inside out. That's just, I'm not going to take the time to do that. Plus, when you dry things in the dryer, sometimes they stick to each other depending upon how they're made. So a lot of our t-shirts get washed inside out. I don't have time to flip things back around. And most of the time, he knows what shirt it is and what's on it by the color texture, and the texture of it.
Yeah, that's true. I know what I'm looking for.
Just like as he's pulling it out of the drawer and he goes, oh, this is my Cog Hill shirt before he ever looked at anything. So anyway.
What do y'all think she would have been doing with this? I'm just curious. What does anyone think you might have been doing with this? That's the crazy thing. I did show the rolling pin, but I never implied anything. What else would you do with the rolling pin in the bedroom? You would roll your partner's back or legs when
maybe
they're sore.
You might beat somebody with it because, might consider.
Well, that's true.
But it doesn't have to be in the bedroom, though.
So I don't know who is saying what. I've not read hardly a darn comment over here. But supposedly, if there's people who are fighting and arguing, let's just take that somewhere else. We have a really nice audience tonight. And why ruin it by everyone fighting and arguing about something that's irrelevant? Jamie and I are feeling good. We're both healthy. Thank you, God. Our animals are all healthy. Thank you, God. We have so many blessings, and that's what we always do. Even when times are hard, we have learned to slow down. Sometimes I'll take her by the hand and help her slow down because you can tell she can't slow down. Can you go ahead and just block that? Whoever's writing in all caps and writing entire chapter books, we're going to go ahead and just put you in a temporary timeout because I don't know exactly what your goal here is.
We're good.
We don't play that.
Move on.
We don't play that. You don't need to be writing in all caps, and you don't need to write a chapter book over here.
Somebody says you could take that rolling pin and use it as a weapon. That's true.
So funny story. I'm not going to talk about that right now, but yeah, we'll talk about that later. I was actually on a roll here.
I know. I was letting you go.
I forgot what I was saying. Darn it. But Jamie and I have a way of sometimes when life gets to be overwhelming, she'll have to slow me down or I have to slow her down and say, hey, let's just count our blessings. Literally, you have to sometimes stop and count your blessings.
Believe it or not, that usually happens in the car. I don't know if you recognize that, but I feel like when we're here, like there is so much that we're both doing. Unless we have said we're going to do this project together and I need your help or that type of thing, we're both doing our own thing. And because we know what needs to be done, we're both very good at being able to look around and say, this needs to be done. And there's no like distinct rules of, nope, that's Lester's job or that's Jamie's job. It's not like that. So we're both just busy doing. And right now is a very busy time. I've made a joke and said, this must be a little bit of what moms of triplets feel like, because we have 3 baby animals here who are like requiring a whole lot and rely on us to sustain life. And they don't all eat at the same time, even though they have a general vicinity. They also don't all make messes at the same time, and there's a lot of cleanup that goes into it. And there's a lot of evolution and being able to do all at once. And when there's so much, and when we're in person doing that, we don't really have like, what you doing, babe?
Just accept that real fast.
My phone.
Here.
It is sometimes hard to like find time to think together and just have a pause. So when we're in the car together is where, even if it's just to run to Tractor Supply, which is 20 minutes away, it is the time where we actually find to talk. And that's where I will be like unwinding, or he'll be venting about something, and we both like, hold on, let's just pause, count your blessings, and talk about what's the good here and how do we get through this. And fortunately, so far there hasn't been a mutual freak out at the same time. It's been a nice balance between each other. And I think that's one of my favorite things about us, is that when I'm losing it, he can ground me. I mean, most of the time he's the one losing it, but
that is true. I lose it a lot more than you do. Right now, I'm trying to set up our cameras.
I'm like, what are you doing?
We don't have an entire.
I don't know what you've done with everything.
Yeah, you know what? Well, I'm just trying to appease everybody. That's my problem. I try to appease everybody.
I don't know why you care.
Some people are saying there's a glare, and I don't know there's a glare, but I'm guessing my
help?
hat.
Just asking. Does that help?
Really, I don't know.
If you don't enjoy what's going on, you can leave, and that's where I'm at tonight. Okay, stop.
There's someone who keeps screaming that we're freezing. We're not freezing. If we're freezing, that's your internet, not ours. It's not. We are not freezing, because no one else is saying that, but the same lady keeps saying you're freezing. I'll have to watch later. It's still freezing. I'm thinking, then watch later. But it's not on our end, okay? And then someone else is screaming, the same person, about a glare, this glare. I don't know of the glare. Obviously, I'm wearing my cap inside the house because I like the way I look in a cap.
There's a light above us.
There's a light above us that shines down. But listen, why are we sitting here trying to talk about the those that are screaming and demanding?
I don't know if they know this, but we're a shit show. We are not professionals and don't have a professional studio. This happens to be our kitchen/living room.
So I want to talk a little bit about friends of ours. I'm wearing his shirt right now. If y'all are friends of Cog Hill, make sure y'all let Jason know that Lester loves his shirts that I was gifted. I've had a lot of fun with Jason, and I've done some things that I will admit are they're pretty brilliant.
Oh no.
Jamie, if you don't mind, I would like to play a short clip for everybody. Guys, if you'll give me a moment here, I want to introduce you to someone you may have never met. This is Jason.
We are in Alabama now.
Oh.
Now, this is Jason and Brooke over at Cog Hill Farm. Now, everyone knows that Jamie and I have befriended the Smiths a couple of years ago. We've met them twice now in person, and we just love them to death. They are as down to earth.
Just good people.
Just good people, y'all. Salt of the earth, good people through and through. And as we were watching their live a couple of mornings ago, how shocked was I that Jason was talking about me. So what does someone do when someone's talking about them? I had to go grab my camera and screen record the entire conversation. May I play it? May I play it?
You're gonna.
Let me just play it. Here we go.
Oh, speaking of brother, so my brother from another mother, Mr. Lester, he sends me this idea that he wants to do. And if y'all did not see this video,
I showed it to Mama last night. I ought to pull it up and play it.
My gracious, y'all, I laughed. I don't know how he comes up with these things, but he does. And if y'all haven't seen it, he talks about how he just ran out of Cog Hill Farm coffee. And Then he grabs his cup and he looks in his cup, and it's me in the bottom of his cup. I've laughed so
I hope y'all
hard.
saw the video.
Oh, I bet I watched it. I don't know how many times.
They're gonna find
But
it.
oh my gracious, he is a mess. He is a mess. Oh,
Mess Express.
he's this is what he does now. This is him. So I get a text from Lester, and it's a video, and he's laying on the ground.
That is true.
On not outside on the ground. And he has a paper plate, and he tells me, he said, "Look, I want you to cut out this paper plate and just stick your head in it like this." And he said, "I want you to say something about your coffee." And I got tickled, and immediately I knew what he was going to do. I knew what he was going to do, but I didn't know how it was going to turn out. And he sent it to me. Let me see if I can find
He's
it.
gonna find
he
it.
sent it to me.
I had this was a
faster
really
than
funny idea,
Well,
but
I
Jason
found it last
Brooke,
night.
They do a
I mean, I
fundraiser
played it
and
for
they
Mama.
do coffee
I found the
sales,
septic
and they
shot.
call it Cog
but
Hill
it's,
Farm Kindness in a Cup.
All right, y'all ready?
Oh, here it goes. Jason's going to show y'all what it was.
Ourselves a little bit of a problem. We're just about out of our Cog Hill coffee. Oh, Lord. Hey, buddy.
Good morning, Lester. I hope you enjoy your fresh cup of Cog Hill coffee. Remember, kindness in the cup.
Keep in mind, this is not a budget film, okay?
I don't know how he comes up with that stuff, y'all, but oh my
Well,
gracious.
you know how.
Here we go.
I'm going to say it. Let me clear my throat.
Everybody listen. Listen.
Lester Morrow is brilliant.
Yes. Yes. Did you hear it, Jamie? Shall I replay it?
No.
I can replay that 100 times, and I have. And I replayed it over and over and over and over. Brooke says Lester Morrow is brilliant. Jamie, normally video creators are a very, I don't want to think the word is jealous,
Competitive?
but we are competitive. We're very competitive. And to have another video creator say that you is pretty darn brilliant was just such a compliment to me. And I love that. Now, the thing is, I really had fun with it. It was just a lot of darn fun. I laughed my behind off. I sent it to you in the tub, and you were in there laughing.
Yes.
And so we didn't know if Jason was going to like it or not. But I didn't care, even though it's his. I didn't care if he liked it or not. I didn't care. It's his coffee. It's his face. It's everything for him. I didn't care. I thought it was funny. And I had found some humor in that, and I laughed and I laughed.
The
and
fact that I walked into like craft hour here in the kitchen where Lester's taking a paper plate and cutting a circle out of it, and I'm like, what are you gonna do with that? He's like, just let the magic happen, Jamie. And he walks outside.
Yeah, magic.
And I look at him doing exactly what Jason said, laying in the yard, like with his camera in selfie mode, holding this thing around him, and I'm like, is he gonna make a toilet video?
No,
like,
it wasn't a toilet bowl.
Had no idea that Jason was
the
involved.
The thing is, it was only a 30-second clip or so, and it was just kind of a fun way to start an actual video. But no, I like doing stuff like that, and it was really neat hearing Jason and Brooke talk highly of us, because not many folks talk highly of us, Jamie.
That's right, that's true.
Especially this day and age, not a lot of folks talk highly of us. But hey, we do what we do. We love what we're doing. And so we have no complaints at all. Oh, no. We're going to have to get on to this lady over here. Can I get on to her?
No.
Please let me.
No.
I want to get on to her. Hey, I just want to say this. I will not say any names. Do not, please, do not send us any money ever. Ever. You know, we've been talking a lot about our pastures and the drought. And as people who depend on a lot of things with Mother Nature that have to come together, a lot of things have to come together to allow us to sustain life. Let's just say life here on the farm. And this is not just our farm. This is every farm. And too much rain, too little rain, too much of this, too cold, too hot. Guys, there's a lot of things that every farmer across this great and beautiful world of ours
things that you can't
struggles
control.
things you can't control.
that you have no power over, no indication on, like things you just can't control.
And then I want to say this, and things that money cannot buy.
True.
Things that money cannot buy. I think it's very kind of you, and I appreciate you thinking that way and being generous that way. But, you know, I've told this in a video. It reminds me of after Hurricane Harvey, when my home was flooded. And I'm not going to try to bring up all of that stuff, but my home was flooded during Hurricane Harvey, flooded so much that it was not going to be able, you know, the things inside could not be salvaged. They had to have everything stripped out, everything, you know, and replaced, from the sheetrock, the carpet, everything, wiring. But I remember that when my boss let me know that people at school had been trying to take up some donation stuff, and they had a whole box they wanted to send my way. And she wanted to see if I could meet them at some point. And so, I mean, I was so busy, y'all. Life was so darn busy in those days. But I agreed to meet them. And what the team had presented me with were paper towels and soap and bleach. And I put on this happy face, and I was told them how sweet and how kind and how thoughtful, and just, you guys are great, and thank you so darn much, and everything else. But they didn't realize that for what I was going through, soap and bleach and paper towels weren't going to fix that. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't mean this in any form of disrespect. I think you're the kindest, most generous. I wouldn't trade our audience for any audience. I don't care anything about the type of folks who follow different pages and how much they donate and how much they give, and how I don't care about any of that. I wouldn't trade you for anything. But what we don't want is your money. We do not want it. And the things that we're struggling with right now are things that money can't buy. And so don't, you can say your prayer. You can, you know, just keep us in your thoughts. You can continue to watch videos as I'm like, oh my God, it ain't rain. It's still so hot out here.
They might not be able to stand me saying it in every video of how hot it is, though, because I caught myself doing it again today. I said in a video, I'm like, it's 100 in hell, is what I
100 in
said.
hell.
Yeah, I'm like, I've never experienced anything like this in my whole life, where we're on like what 78 days of above
Jamie,
100.
on it was May 13th was our last significant rain, and it's only sprinkled. Maybe, and when I say sprinkled, I mean like a 3-minute sprinkle, and it's gone. And when I say sprinkle, I mean like drip.
I mean,
drip,
nothing.
Drip. Yeah. So May 13th, and then so August 13th will be a 3 full months, and we went 91 or 92 days last summer around this same time as well. So you would think that we'd be used to it by now, but
I guess it just like sucked because we didn't catch up from last year. You have a bad year, and in my mind, I'm like, this year will be better, and then it didn't happen. And I am a researcher and an overthinker, so I go back in history and look at like things like the Dust Bowl, things like the 30. I think there was like 33 whenever that happened, and how long it took to recover from that. It was something like 10 years to recover.
Well,
that.
we had trees that just begin to show that were dying earlier this year from the drought we had last year. So it will look even worse next year. It's tough, y'all. But these are things that we will deal with. We will work through. But I want to say this, and I don't mean to harp on it. I really don't want to harp on this, but there are pages that when they go through a rough spot, will take that opportunity to grab every penny they can from you. They will take that opportunity to start begging for funds, begging for donations, begging for GoFundMe's, they'll start begging for everything. And I'm not saying it's a money grab. They might actually need it, but I'm telling you, we're not asking you for a penny. We will make money the old-fashioned way by earning it. So just remember this message. The 8,400 people who are watching right now on all the different platforms, read my lips. As I say, we don't want your money. We will work our way through this using our money, the money that we earn the old-fashioned way. Thank you. I do want to say thank you. Can you find a way to soften that blow at all? Because I get it. People want to help.
I think that everybody feels the need to contribute, and what we're saying is the best contribution you can give us is by just supporting us through watching videos and saying a prayer for us, saying, just keeping us in your thoughts. And
The words of encouragement mean so much to me. I mean, I don't find myself, I can get lost in reading comments and then reading messages of encouraging type of messages. And that means a lot to me because it does keep me balanced and focused here. So it's tough, y'all. But you know what? Everyone goes through tough times. People go through flood. They go through medical conditions. I mean, we always say we're all survivors of something, Jamie. We're all survivors of
why are you
something.
saying it like that?
No, but we do, because people don't understand that it's not just rescued and abandoned and neglected animals, but we as in the community of us are all survivors of things. And right now, you and I are trying to work through a very serious 2-year drought, and our animals are struggling. Those that are grazing animals are struggling right now on trying to survive their second year of a summertime drought and heat wave. And then, but around the country, we watch the news. We know what's going on. We know there's flooding in other parts of the world. There's record-breaking temperatures. There's people that are medically sick, and
I would be interested to know. So I've been doing question of the day now for a while. So I'm going to take a little question of the day right now.
Oh.
In a few short words, tell us what you have survived. So just one
Yeah,
thing.
that's
Tell us
good.
one thing that you have survived.
How about, you guys flood the comments right now with one thing that you've overcome. Sometimes it's not survive.
I think it because we're all survivors of something. I feel like
The word survive is
the
fitting.
The word
Well,
survivor is a strong thing. And look, there's a whole lot of
breast
cancer and
isolation,
hurricanes,
war, cancer, breast cancer,
trauma,
fire, divorce. Someone said divorce.
being homeless,
Divorce
heart
is
attack, losing 2 babies. My goodness. See? And
the death of my husband. See, when you compare breast cancer and a death of a husband to a guy who's going through a drought, there's no comparison to that, y'all. There's no comparison. That's why I feel like a baby when I'm out there. Man, look how dry the soil is, and it's just falling through my hand. It looks like moon dust.
But
that's nothing compared to what many of you guys have had to deal with and overcome. So,
but what I look at in the comments right now, it took seconds for those to come through, and I want you to read the other ones that are flying right by you to know that you're not alone in what you have gone through, and that sometimes your story is somebody else's map to survival and what they're going through as well. And that's the fact of what brought us here together, and that is what Lester and I really thrive on, is the family that we have here in social media, to know that y'all understand real life and challenges and how much it took for you to get through that, and to know that not every day is rainbows and sunshine, and that's the real life things that we're going through too, whether it be with personal things or with things here on the farm. And I guess what we're saying is, if you think back to all of those things that helped, that you survived through and that you're here through, I would take a guess and say that you had some support somewhere, and that you had someone who believed in you or encouraged you through and said something kind to you during that time. And that's what we're saying is the most beneficial to us through everything that we're trying to survive as well.
Yeah, it just breaks me when I see people who've lost children, who've lost spouses, who've lost parents, because, well, and then of course those who had to overcome some kind of, I mean, I've read a lot of cancers. Though you guys, you're warriors. I'll just say this, and I really do believe this, that you are warriors. Car accidents, spousal abuse, and the list is just flying by. The loss of a granddaughter, for Christ's sake, I can't imagine the pain that you had probably still live with, no matter how long ago that was. But and there's many who are fighting right now. So just because Lester's fight right now is man versus nature, if you tie it to literature, it's called Man versus Nature. You know that, right? You know about that? That's just our battle, but we're going to be fine, y'all. And our fight right now is not one that dollars can help with. It's just your words of encouragement. And then I will say this, I would hope to say your unwavering support, because decisions will have to be made at some point. Jamie and I already know that. And they may not be popular decisions, but they're decisions based on the whole. And that's the hardest thing to understand sometimes, is that when you have to make a decision based on a whole lot of living and breathing souls who depend on you, it may not be the most popular decision, but it is a decision that has to be made. A lady sent me a quote today from Winston Churchill. I don't know exactly what article it was in, but he talked a lot about making decisions, and especially when he had an entire country to think about. And no matter what decision you make, you're going to be heavily criticized because it may not be the most popular. And if it ends up being the right decision, then you're held as a hero or someone who knows is all, or at least knew what you were doing. And sometimes your decisions are not the right decisions, and they could lead you down a bad path. And so decision making, especially when there's so many other folks involved, you all, I mean, and trying to do the right thing for all of us, but ultimately we have to keep the animals and their best interest in mind. It is tough, and it's daunting, but you guys are warriors, and I'm just so humbled to know that you've been through so much, and yet you still take time and find time to hang out with us a little bit and put up with our what do they call that? They put up with our pity parties. Y'all put up with our pity parties, and our pity parties are not near the magnitude of some of the ones that you guys have obviously overcome and worked your way through. So life happens all around us, someone says, and that is true. And life is a roller coaster, y'all. We will sometimes find ourselves on the rock bottom, as they say. And I do believe that if you just keep striving and one foot in front of the other one, you can hopefully find yourself back on top of the world. There's a lot of comments that are going by that I can't read because they're too lengthy. But the good news is I read everything later. So I may be soaking in the tub longer than normal tonight, Jamie, as I'm sitting here reading comments and sobbing like a baby. So
It's true. It's very true. You want to do one more question of the day before we go?
we are right at our hour now. So that's fine. I'm completely fine with that. If you guys are wanting one more question of the day, that will be fine.
I want to know, what was the best thing that happened to you this weekend?
The best. So we're going to end on a high note, you're saying.
Mhm.
Oh, that's good. So what is the best thing that happened to you this weekend?
What about you?
Well, can I say the hardest thing first?
No, this is
Well,
what is the best thing?
saying goodbye to Lex was so darn hard. And then when I asked Lex what was his best memory of the summer, listen, we had Lex for 45 days. And now he spent a lot of time with his Gigi and Paw Paw, but he also spent tons of time here with us at Longhorn Lester's. And we did a lot of neat things. And when I asked him, what was your favorite memory of the entire summer? And he said, the day I got him a Grimace shake from McDonald's. A Grimace shake, or what Grimace, whatever that thing is. Guys, McDonald's was selling some kind of a Grimace. I think, where's Grimace from? Is that from
This was from McDonald's. It was from the 80s McDonald's.
From Grimace. There was a drink they had at McDonald's, a drink that came with his meal.
That was the best part of summer.
And his best part of the summer was, I think it was that day that you got me that Grimace drink from McDonald's. And I think, God darn it. All the things,
all the other things that we did.
The things, the trips that Jamie took him shopping, and the trip to Galveston and across the ferry and seeing the dolphins and eating at the beautiful restaurant and all of the fun things that we did, the game nights. God, we played so many games. We had game night after game night after game night.
All the special meals I cooked, all of the special
and his favorite
candy
part was that Grimace shake that he got from McDonald's. And he was serious. He wasn't
serious.
He wasn't like and we even reminded him of everything that we had done. We had to remind him of all that we had done. And now his favorite part of the summer was that one day that we got him a Grimace shake.
Figures. What about, what was your best part of this weekend?
Okay.
Hearing that?
I did laugh. I did laugh. My best part of the weekend was, this is going to sound cheesy, but our ice maker had gone out and we had no ice. Now, I don't know if you guys are like me, but I have a really bad habit of eating ice. And
Oh,
so we bought an ice maker that makes soft ice. Soft ice is the kind that you can get maybe from Sonic, that you can actually easily chew it. It's soft. It melts in your mouth. It doesn't hurt your teeth. It's soft ice. We had an ice maker that made soft ice, and you guys have heard it screaming at us for the last 2 or 3 months. It's been screaming at us for a while.
it needed to be descaled.
And so that ice maker finally just went out. It just stopped making ice. So we had to order another one, and it took a week or week and a half or so to be delivered. And getting that thing hooked up and finally having ice again, because having a Dr. Pepper or having a glass of Kool-Aid, the Crystal Light that I drink, or anything else that we normally drink without ice is just not the same when I'm used to having my ice. Is that dumb? But that was huge for me. That was a huge thing for me. You know that.
I thought you were gonna say all the romantic back scratching that I did, and like
That was nice.
the
But it does not
meals that I cooked, or no, it was the ice. Thanks,
Someone
Alex.
says Americans are so spoiled.
It's true.
I don't know.
So
And
very true.
the best thing happened to you all weekend?
Getting Danny to finally eat,
Mm.
like figuring out her piece, like her workings to be able to navigate and get her to eat, and getting Ruby feeling a little bit better.
I'm reading a lot of people are coming in on what their best part of the weekends.
Somebody
And-
said it was your shirt video.
oh Lord, the shirt video. I had fun with that. Now a lot of people are talking about some lady. They keep saying some lady's name. You should watch so and so. She can teach you how to roll your shirts. Who's that lady you all keep saying? Someone tell me the name of that lady so Jamie can go figure it out. It's a first and last name, and I'm guessing it's some kind of lady because she can show you how to roll your shirt. Well, now no one wants to say it, but no, there was
A lot of people had time with their grandkids, which is really neat and special. I think that's a really neat thing.
Is it Marie Kondo? Everyone's saying Marie Kondo. Marie Kondo. So supposedly Marie Kondo, never heard of her. Okay, never heard of her. And don't y'all dare leave the live to go look her up right now. How mean and how sad would that be if we end up losing all of our audience because y'all go try to find Marie Kondo rolling up t-shirts? So fine, I saw that name 1,000 times. And so at some point I will go look up a video, and then I will video me Marie Kondoing all of my shirts, okay? So I can fit them all in my drawers easier. How about that?
The thing is that they did fit once I folded them all up and put them back in there neatly. It's whenever you change your mind and change shirts and just toss it back in that messes up the rhythm.
Yeah, it's not going to be near as fun to dig through all my shirts when they're all rolled up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, someone says, Lester, you realize you were wearing 22 shirts. 22 shirts.
All I know is you had no neck.
That's what I should have done, is at the very end, ask someone, whoever can tell me the exact amount of shirts I was wearing.
Ooh, yeah.
But the thing is, I couldn't say you could win a prize because that's what the scammers do. That's what the scammers do. Hey, let's end the live just warning everybody about the different scammers that are out there.
Can we just end on the positive
A
note?
positive note? Okay. We're not scammers.
There you
We're
go.
real, and we don't want your money. We don't want your money. Do not send us your credit card. We're not doing that stuff. We don't want it. So
I think it's important to be safe and to know who you're talking to, and to.
tell me it doesn't feel great.
It does feel great.
If you guys do not know
I'm gonna
about
tell you
a
something that's
rolling pin to the
really-
back, you can do it to any body part. It goes. feels
So
good.
here's the
You
thing:
can do it to yourself.
if you do it to your calves, it is the most giggly, weird feeling in the whole world. He did it to the back of my legs, and it made my skin crawl and felt good all at the same time. And I can't explain it to you. But then I did it to him, and he had the exact same feeling. So if you have a rolling pin, go ahead and roll your calves, the back side of your calves, or have someone do it, because
No,
holy moly, it's freaky.
you have to have someone do it to you because it doesn't feel the same when you do it to yourself.
Oh, you
Trust me.
know?
No, it's true. When someone can do it to you, it's always a lot better than doing it to yourself. So keep that in mind. If you have a rolling pin, find someone who can roll it on you. So, all right. Well, we want to thank y'all for watching and appreciate you guys keeping us in your. I cracked. You made me crack. Gosh darn it, Jamie. Dang it. I take a lot of pride in never cracking. Dang it, you made me crack. Why did you do
I
that?
couldn't hold it together
Jamie,
anymore.
I
I
never.
was like, I don't even know if he knows what he just said. Of course you knew what you just said.
Of course I know what I said. I take so much pride in never cracking. I will crack later.
And you cracked it alive. This is the best day ever. This was the best moment all weekend. I take it back.
I will crack sometimes when I'm building the video. I'll crack when I'm reading the comments, but I never crack on the video. Dang it, you made me crack.
You're actually blushing right now.
I'm so nasty. I'm such a nasty man. The British would love me. British love nasty men like me. Americans can't handle me.
Oh my God.
All I'm saying is Americans can't handle me. Brits love me to death, okay? That's all I'm saying. You might want to end the broadcast.
Y'all,
Thank y'all for watching.
we love you. Have a great week.
That was horrible. I cracked.